Hey guys, welcome back into another YouTube video, and today I'll be doing some more coding on Python. So on the last video we learned a few simple functions, and we also learned how to make a calculator on Python. So today we're going to be building off that and kind of adding some more extra steps for the calculator by asking some more questions, by adding a few more inputs, and by adding a few new things or new type of code. So let's jump in the video. As I said, I'm using Hard Academy. It's extremely good, and you need to sign up to use their program, and yeah, that's all I have. If you do want to check them out, and I highly recommend it, I will leave the link down in the description below. Okay, so here we are at our new type of code that we will be running today. So I'm just gonna go over a few of the things which appeared here and appeared in the last video. So one thing which will always appear is a variable, which is team player y player 2 number 1 and number 2. So those are all variables, and then we can see integer actually a bit down here, int for integer. We can see print again. We can see a lot of strings over here. We can see number 1 plus number 2, which if you remember does the math function. And one thing that appears a lot more often than the others is the input function. As I said, the input allows the user to put in information to the computer. So yep, let's get into all of the new stuff. So of course team is a variable. So team equals input, which allows the user to add their own information in. And yeah, so the computer will ask you, or it'll display which is your favorite Premier League team, and then we can answer to that. And then here is where a new concept comes in. So same thing, player is a variable, input, and then who is your favorite player in, and then the string ends there. Okay, and then we have plus team. So what plus team means is that it'll take whatever we answered for the variable team. So team is a variable. So let's say if I put Chelsea as my favorite Premier League team, it would put plus team. And since I answered Chelsea to the input, it would put who is your favorite player in Chelsea. If you understood that, then yeah. If you don't, so basically what it's doing is it just adds whatever you put in for team, because it stores the variable team or whatever you answered in the variable team, and it can always add that always. And then we also have an extra plus here for the question mark, of course, for the grammar. So that's that. And then our new line is y, and then we can put why do you like, and then plus team again. So it would say why do you like Chelsea, and then since it has input, we can answer to that question. So if you notice, a lot of the things are extremely um, are very similar, and most of it is actually the same. So y, and then player 2 is a bit, this one has a few more stuff in it. So again, input and then string who is your next favorite player in plus team, and then space, that's space there, after plus player. So plus team, if I answer Chelsea, it will say who is your next favorite player in Chelsea, space, after, and then plus player. So if I answered for Chelsea, I don't know, Kepa, it would say who is your next favorite player in Chelsea, the team, space, after the player who is Kepa. So who is your next favorite player in Chelsea, space, after Kepa. So this one is basically the same to line number 2. it just has a few more additions over here, or pluses, which allow you to add a bit more stuff in the sentence. And then this one is the same as the calculator actually. So you would say number one integer again, because we're going to be doing a math function here. Input, which allows us to answer how many goals has player space scored. So if I enter Keppa, it would say how many goals has Keppa scored, and since we have the input, we could answer, and obviously it would be 0 since he's a goalkeeper. And anyway, same thing for number two. How many goals has player two scored? So it would say how many goals has Keppa scored in line number 5, and then in line number 6 it would say how many goals has player 2 scored, which is basically my next favorite player in the team. And then it would print the total number of goals scored. I should actually add scored by these two players is, and then number 1 plus number 2, because of course number 1 and number 2 are variables, and he would answer how many goals they've scored, and then since that is the input, it will store it in the respectable variable, and then we could of course add them again. So home to the code one more quick time. So the inputs, you know, which is your Premier League team, and then a new thing which is plus team. It basically takes whatever the input was for that variable and then adds it in there. And then the math function is the exact same. It just takes the input for the variable and then it just adds them instead of having the input for variable directly. So if you play the code, I'll be putting my real answers in right now, which is your Premier League team. We can put whichever team you like the best. So Man City, and then as you can see here, it answers back who is your favorite player in Man City. That is because, as I said, in plus team, which is basically it says who is your favorite player in plus team, and I answered Man City for the team. So it would say who is your favorite player in Man City, and then we could answer to that saying whichever player you like, and then again why do you like Man City? Just put a short reason in right now. They are the best. And then who is your next favorite player in Man City after Aguero? So if you remember, it's this line 4, which is the extremely long one. So who is your next favorite player in plus team, which is Man City, after plus player? So basically it's just the same thing, but you have a few more additions to the sentence. So and then we can put in Brena. How many goals has Aguero scored? 16 in the Premier League, I think. And then how many goals has Brena scored? 11. And then of course the total number of goals scored by the two players is 27. It adds them because it stores 16 and 17, and because 16 and 17 are both in the variable number 1 and number 2, it just adds number 1 and number 2. So just for you guys to see that I haven't already programmed Man City and all these recorded answers in somewhere, I'm gonna choose a new team. So I'm gonna choose don't know, let's go with Chelsea. So as you can see, it now asks me who is your favorite player in Chelsea. We can put whichever player we like. So Kepa maybe. And then why do you like Chelsea? We can put in whatever answer you like. So this is a bit more of a question answer thing. You can see up here it says data input. So we're inputting the information on data. Who's the next player in Chelsea after Kappa? Again, we can answer. I really don't know at this point. Just put in Giroud. How many goals has Kappa scored? But for the sake of this video, we can say he scored 10 goals. How many goals has Giroud scored? For the sake of this video, we can put 17, and then of course it adds them again, and the answer is again 27. So again, you can go through it as many times as you want, with whichever answers you would like, and then just play around the program. You can you can add more variables. You can do a lot more stuff with the program than just this. Of course, you can add a lot more print statements. You can add if loops and a bunch of other stuff. But this is just a simple question answer and then calculator thing in Python. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.